Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to our advanced trainings every Thursday and every second Thursday with me. So my name is Petra. Oh, I should be renaming myself so you know who I am. Forgot about that one. Um, so here you go. So you can find me on Zoom. So welcome to Advanced Trainings, and today we are going to tackle the digital nutrition and specifically the practical approach to digital nutrition, because we've done digital nutrition before. And today I'm going to show you something else. We're going to dive deeper into nutritional pillars and looking at the way I use nutrition. I'm going to give you some mini protocols so you can actually use them. And we're going to look at what influences the nutrition as well, so you can actually support yourself. So for those of you who are looking for translations in your own native languages, we will be speaking English tonight. So make sure to either download the Wordly app, either scan the QR code on your screen, or go to attend.wordly.ai, and you can join by choosing a language that you would like it to translate in. So instead of English, you will choose your own language. And then you will have it if you have your app, the Wordly app on your phone. You will have the translation on your phone, and you will be able to see me on your computer or wherever you are. So you can have the screen as well as the app at the same time. Please let me know if you can hear me clearly enough. And then we can dive in. So as always, all the housekeeping before we start and dive into anything. We know, although we love helium frequency, we know that unfortunately current science, Western medical science, does not approve of the existence of the information field and everything that goes with it. So make sure that you take all of these trainings as in your informational purposes, educational purposes. So make sure that you are making your own choices and decisions of what you're doing and how you're applying certain things to your body. Because we're going to look at today that we are all individuals, and something that works for me might not work for you, and something that works for you might not work for me. So it's really important for you to explore yourself and trust yourself, and get enough knowledge in order to actually understand the messages of your body. As well as we love the Healy, we need to be clear that Healy is a wellness device, and it is not intended to cure, treat, mitigate, diagnose, or prevent any disease or medical conditions. So we do not answer medical questions here. We do not implement or communicate our ways of Healy addressing anything in curing or healing, curing anything that you think you have. So we are here to look deeper. We are here to look beneath the symptoms, go to the root cause, and actually create the environment in the body so the body can heal itself. And that goes for all Healy and big Healy devices. Okie dokie. It won't let me enter my ID. What? I don't understand. What does that mean? You're in the meeting, so. Oh, you mean for the Wordly? You shouldn't be. You just literally download the app and then you choose the language. You don't need to log in or anything. Okay, so for those of you who don't know me or first time here, welcome. If you're after the recording and the guides that I will be showing you today, you can join my Facebook group, or go on my website. You'll find that in my Facebook group as well. So I'm posting the Facebook link in the chat in Zoom, so you can join if you would like to. You don't need to, but if you would like to, I'm sharing all my additional guides and everything that I'm presenting, including the recordings and everything in that Facebook group. And you can also ask additional questions, because we are trying to limit the time to actually have the questions supported just for the sessions that we have. So as we are looking at the digital nutrition, my question to you is, how important is nutrition to you? Type 1 in the comments in chat. If it's very important, type 1. If it's not important at all, type 2. And if you don't pay attention to it at all, type 3. So I can see where you are. Probably 1. That's so cool. I can see all the ones. Very important. Yes, very important, and not heard of real things in these pages. Not heard of real things in these pages. I don't understand what does that mean, and not heard of real things in these pages. So today we are going to, so we've done a digital nutrition specific training for digital nutrition mixtures. I think it was last year. You can find all the past trainings in my Facebook group or on YouTube. And I've dived into all the programs. So today we're going to look at things a bit differently. So if you are after, the explanations of the programs and all of that, you can look at that previous session, because I've dived really deep into that. And I've created a guide specifically for that. So today we are going to do an upgrade. So we're going to go deeper. We're going to dive deep into advanced training of the digital nutrition in a practical way. So let's look at first, as I can see all of you understand that nutrition is important. But although we might agree on our nutrition being important, majority of us probably don't agree on what is healthy nutrition, or what is nutrition, and how we should look at it, and what benefits our body the most, and all of that things. So I'm not going to go into, this diet is better than other, because that is a rabbit hole that you can't get out of, just letting you know. The most important thing we're going to look at is, what is the foundation of nutrition? And then your body is what tells you what it needs. So we also need to understand that nutrition in itself will change through the seasons of your life, and your body will need different things in different timings, or different areas of your life, or different timings of your life, or different seasons in your life. The cycles, and especially if you are healing your body will need different nutrition, a different way of eating in different intervals. Yeah. And I can tell you that from my own personal experience of healing my own body. When I had endometriosis and almost died at the age of 20, I thought I was eating really healthy. Yes. And then I went on a journey of literally eliminating everything, literally everything, and ended up, that's my journey. Ended up on juices, a soup per day with literally limited herbs and salt, without salt, and coffee enemas for a year and a half. And then when my body was healing and detoxing, eventually my body was telling me what it needed. So I started adding on things that my body was craving. So the cravings that you have, that, that feeling that, oh my God, this smells so good, my body loves it, I want to have it, I want to eat it. Those are your signals within your body telling you that you're missing something, or needing something, or that your body's lacking certain elements, minerals, nutrition. Yeah. And fighting that is literally depriving your body of what it needs, because your body is intuitive and it will always tell you what it needs, except for sugar. And, well, even with sugar, it's a message, but you don't need sugar. Just I think you know. So if you're craving sugar, your body will definitely tell you that you don't have enough energy. So if you don't have enough energy, there's a reason why you don't have enough energy. And it's really important to understand the messages of the body, because if you're craving sugar, you need to look at your nervous system, you need to look at your stress response, and you also need to look at your protein intake, because if you don't have enough protein, and I'm talking about here the complete protein of the animal protein, because although we get protein from plants, we're missing certain nutrients if they're not combined. and if they're not properly processed. So our body can't absorb. So we're going to look at that today as well. And it's really important to understand, and this is not a debate on, I eat meat or I don't eat meat, this is better than that. No, I'm giving you an approach of what your body really needs. And today you're going to learn how to actually utilize and use your digital nutrition mixtures and the Healy app to actually help the body support its needs. And we're going to also look at what it means. Okay, so let's dive in. So what is nutrition? Nutrition is the intake and assimilation. That's a really important thing. Intake and assimilation of all the substances and informational energies that sustain life, support growth, regeneration, and maintain balance in the body. So I have given you, a definition in my previous training that was really based on the physical nutrition. But today I want to expand it. Why? Because we're using frequency, and we are frequency. We are not just physical elements. We also contain light. And we majority of times forget what nutrition really is for our body and our cells. So traditionally, nutrition includes micronutrients. So that's your physical food, which is protein, fats, and carbohydrates. So your body needs protein and fats. Yes, it can, if you have enough storage fat in your body, it can utilize the fat that you have, but it can't utilize protein. It needs protein from the outside. Carbohydrates are literally transformed into sugars. So proteins are transformed into glucose, which is sugar. So in essence, you don't need carbohydrates, but you need proteins. So make sure that you have enough protein in your diet, because if you don't, your body will start eating out muscles, and tissue in order to actually function the way it needs to. So if you're losing muscle, when we age, we start losing muscle. And it's normally because the body's starting or needs more repair, and we actually don't have enough protein to build muscle. So, and that actually starts depleting the muscle, just letting you know. And then we have micronutrients, which are your vitamins, mineral enzymes, trace elements. We can get those either through water, we can get those through plants, we can get those, we can make those in the body if our body is actually functioning properly. Then the really important part of nutrition is water and oxygen. Water and oxygen are essential for biochemical processes. So without water and oxygen, you will not have assimilation and you will not have absorption. And the cells will not get anything. Even if you eat tons of food, you will not get any nutrients if you don't have the right water, meaning structured water, that's high in oxygen. So ideal water for our body would be spring water or a water out of the waterfall, or out of the spring, out of the earth, because that water is structured water. And normally the water that actually falls over the rocks, it takes on the minerals and also gets oxygenated, meaning that it's high in hydrogen, meaning that your body will utilize that oxygen in its cells for the exchange and assimilation of nutrients. We also in nutrition, we also need phytonutrients, which are your plant-based compounds. So we call them, if you probably heard, in health circles, phytonutrients are either really raved upon, or they are really they get a lot of backlash. So normally that was discussed around soy. So soy is high in phytonutrients and compounds that can mimic estrogen in the body. And sometimes if it's not processed properly, it can actually interfere with the hormonal process within the body, be it female or male. And normally plant-based compounds are really important, like antioxidants, polyphenols, flavonoids. So Those are really important for healing and regeneration. So we want plants to actually allow us and help us, but we first need protein so we can actually build. So we need to have balance, and we're going to look at that later. And then the last element of nutrition is light. Majority of people forget about light. And light is the most, in my view and my experience, is the most crucial and the most important part of your nutrition. Why? Because light, what we call biophotons, so photons are light, yeah, are the purest form of energy in the world and in universe, used by the body, your body, to regulate cellular communication, circadian rhythm, hormone production, and mitochondrial function. So if you don't have enough light, your body can't function. So when I say light, I mean sunlight. Getting out in the morning with the early sun, meaning sunrise, is the most important thing. 10-15 minutes, ideally up to an hour in the morning, is crucial. Why? Because it resets all your systems within the body. Cells get regenerated and they get enough energy to do all the processes before you even eat. Your base, your foundation for nutrition is light. When you have all the processes going smoothly, then you can ingest food, and that food can be assimilated properly. That food can be converted into energy nutrients the way your body needs. But without light, water, and oxygen, you don't have nutrition. Just letting you know. So nutrition is not just physical food, it's first light, water, and oxygen, and then the rest. So don't forget the sunlight. Okay, but what is nutrition in its core? It's not just physical, it's informational. So whatever you put in your body, be it light, water, micronutrients, macronutrients, plant elements, whatever it is, it's information. It's just a different way of informing your body, either from within or from without. We'll talk about that, but it is information. So if that information is not received properly, then we have a problem with nutrients in the body and our nutrition is lacking. So every substance we consume carries frequency, and we know that because it's been measured. Yeah, frequencies of different plants, elements, foods have been measured. They also contain an energetic blueprint, which is the vibrational frequency that our cells can interpret. Our cells communicate through frequency. This is messages to the body. So the body doesn't just need the nutrients, physical nutrients, it needs to understand what to do with them. So we can't just, shove food down our throat and then expect the body to do everything. But if the body doesn't have light in order for the systems to work properly, it doesn't know what to do with that food. So it's not nutrition anymore. Yes, it's just matter that we are feeding our body, which we are not actually nourishing. Okay, so why is nutrition important? Nutrition builds the body structure. Muscles, bones, hormones, anything in the body. Yeah, tissues. It regulates bodily functions like your energy levels, your moods, yeah, because hormones influence moods, your immune system and your immune response, yeah, so how your body protects you from the environment. It also regulates detoxification. So all of that comes from nutrition, and nutrition meaning what I've said before, yeah. So if anything is out of balance, then the systems will be out of balance. It's essential for mental clarity, for emotional balance, and even spiritual openness. Because if you don't have enough light, you don't have enough connection. You can't connect, you can't feel, you don't have intuition. Your nervous system is too drained, and nervous system is, you have fatigue or you're under stress. You will not have connection to your intuition. And if you don't have enough light, then you will feel depressed. So that's all connected, and that's all nutrition. And if you're feeding your body sugar, then you will have anxiety because your gut will go out of balance. The nutrition also impacts the nervous system, as I said, gut health, of course, because the bacteria, you are made out of bacteria in physical matter. So if bacteria go out of balance in the gut, everything goes out of balance. They also impact the hormonal rhythm. As I said, light impacts your melatonin, serotonin, all the positive hormones, sleeping hormones, the whole hormonal system, the whole nervous system. It also influences, which is insulin is your hormonal system, but how you process sugar in the body, what you are craving, all of that is literally governed by light and nutrition. So without proper nutrition or proper absorption and utilization, so that's what nutrition really is. It's not food, it's how we absorb and utilize the nutrients that we get and from food. The body actually operates in compensatory mode, which is compensating. So for example, I don't know if you heard of this, like this happened to my sister when I was younger. So she was lacking minerals, and her body was lacking minerals so much that her teeth started melting. Melting meaning because the body didn't know where else to get minerals, so it started to pull minerals out of her teeth. So it's really important to understand your body will find a way to get the basic foundational processes going, even if it needs to sacrifice a part of your body. Yeah? Be it your tissues, your muscles, your teeth, your brain. Because your brain is the highest in fat. So if you're needing fat for energy, and if you're needing to repair your body, if you have high inflammation, your body, if you don't have enough quality fats and quality balance of nutrients in the body, your body will start degrading brain. So just letting you know, your body will always find a way because it wants to protect you for you to be alive. Unfortunately, yeah, the price is high. Yeah. So don't make your body compensate for you. Instead, make your body work in optimal health so you can support it. So why light matters in nutrition? Biophotons are actually particles of light emitted by all living things. So if you ever saw a video, I've actually shared, I think, it in the Facebook group. So they have a special camera, and all your cells, all your hands, everything glows. All plants glow, just in a different spectrum. Yeah, we all have light within us. Our cells store, receive, and emit light. This is a currency, which is, so light is frequency, and this is how our body operates. And this is a form of communication. So light, frequency, vibration, they're just different terms of how we communicate, just different ways of communication, but they're all similarities. They have similarities of how our body works. They're all the same. They're all communication of the body. And food also has light. We all have light. So light is literally the communication between the cells and what you ingest. Light from the sun regulates your vitamin D synthesis, your melatonin production, and mood. If you are lacking vitamin D, yeah, please don't add the supplement because you will not get anything out of it. Vitamin D is converted from your cholesterol. Your body makes your vitamin D from your cholesterol. So if your cholesterol is high, your inflammation is high, get out into the sun. If you get out into the sun, your body will start converting the extra cholesterol into vitamin D and actually do something with it. Yeah, so it's really important to understand your body will send you messages. Light interacts with enzymatic activity. So your enzymes are produced through light. So if you want to have a better digestion, get out in the sun. It also connects to mitochondrial respiration, meaning how you convert elements to energy and how energy is produced in your cell. Yeah, that's why it's respiration, because it's an exchange. That's why we also say that, you know, when you want to lose weight, for example, you lose weight by breathing, because that's how fat's converted into energy, and then you actually breathe it out. And of course, DNA repair. DNA repair does not happen without light. No matter how many nutrients you have, if you don't have enough light, it's not going to happen. Many natural foods carry light frequencies. We know that, especially raw. Anything that's live has more light in it, but that doesn't mean it's better than anything else. It's mostly we need balance. Yeah, we need balance of both. And the majority of us receive better light through the skin, through the sun, than just through food. So don't limit yourself on food. Make sure that you balance things out. Of course, light frequencies are higher in raw foods, fresh and organic fruits and vegetables, but the highest frequency of light comes through the sun, through your skin. So frequencies like with Healy programs, for example, digital nutrition mixture programs, operate similar to light because it's frequency, right? It's information. So they deliver information that realigns your system. So digital nutrition mixtures programs are not your nutrition, physical nutrition. They're not biological elements. They are information. So it works in a bit of a different way. So information is actually delivered to your bioenergetic field. Bioenergetic field shows imbalances that are not manifested yet. Yeah, and we're going to look at that a bit later. So when we deliver information to the bioenergetic field, we are now informing the body to start preparing and reversing things before they happen. Yeah, so we are literally working outside of the physical. Yeah. So what are today's challenges with nutrition? Probably you know them. Yeah, don't eat junk food because it's plastic. Yeah, first thing, get away from processed foods. Processed foods are also bread, just letting you know. Processed foods are also crackers, even if it says organic on it. Yeah, just letting you know, it's still processed. Make sure that you are the closest to nature as possible. So what are the challenges? We know that food is often chemically altered. Pesticides, herbicides, all the chemicals in foods today. It's also nutrient depleted. With all the conventional farming, we do not bring and give back the nutrients from, weeded and dead plants. It's not going back into the soil, and the soil gets depleted, so the plants get depleted from nutrients. And they're all processed. Yeah, so the processing of flowers and how we process fruits today, for example. In all honesty, fruit, don't get me wrong, yes, it's natural, but it's sugar bombs. It's the fruit we eat today, it's so processed and changed through generations that it's not fruit anymore. It's literally 10 times higher in sugar than, for example, 20, 30 years ago. And it's completely different. Your body does not recognize that anymore, and it doesn't know what to do with that sugar. Stress, toxins, medications, and gut imbalances, they all affect absorption of your nutrients. So if you already have a nutrient depleted food that you're ingesting, and then you have on top of that stress, toxins, medication, and gut imbalances, you will not be absorbing anything. First, you don't have a lot to absorb, and then you're not absorbing anything. So you're literally depleting your body, and you're starving it. You're starving your body like really deeply. Many people also eat enough food. So for example, they eat a lot of food, yeah, but they're still lacking nutrients. And they're also lacking energetic nourishment. So they're literally energetically malnourished. So it's not all about the physical food we ingest. It's about, do we have the ability to absorb that nutrient? And do we have enough alignment and information for our cells to communicate, yeah, our information channels to actually utilize those nutrients? Because you can be, for example, you can have high B vitamin 12 in your body, which is what majority of vegans are lacking, and on top of a lot of other things. But B12 is something that a lot of vegans are lacking. You can have a high B12 in your blood, but you can still be energetically malnourished of the vitamin B12 because the communication channels are not working properly. So we have the physical nutrition, which is the chemical blood nutrition when you do the blood tests. And then you have the energetic nutrition, which is what your body's, is the communication working, is the alignment working to actually utilize the element that's in the blood for the nutrients to regenerate the cell. So there's still communication. If there's this communication present, you will not be utilizing whatever you have in your blood if you don't have the alignment. So this is where the digital nutrition comes in. So also not everyone has access to high quality bioavailable nutrients. Yeah, because of course in Western world we live in a really depleted, nutrient depleted world. So digital nutrition actually helps us to absorb whatever we have and whatever we actually ingest much better. And of course, because we have a fast-paced lifestyle, it also means we often eat without presence, which, you know, when we have time, we have presence. And we don't have intention when we eat. We're literally just swallowing food without any connection to it. So this is really important, and people forget about that. Presence and intention of when you're eating is really important. Okay, so when we have all of these challenges coming in, everything creates disconnect. Disconnect from our bodies, disconnect from our cells. The cell and the energetic and physical part of us is disconnected. So the body is not only lacking nutrients, physical nutrients, it's struggling to receive and utilize them efficiently. So no matter what you put in your body, if you're not utilizing it and if you're not receiving it properly, if you don't know what to do with it, you're not going to feed your body at all. Yeah, so that's what we're going to look at today. We're going to look at how you can actually see the things in the bioenergetic field and then utilize it. Okay, so why use vibration nutrition through frequency, which is your Healy digital nutrition mixtures? Yeah. So our DNM, which is digital nutrition mixtures, because it's too long for me to say it anyway. So our digital nutrition, it offers solution on a deeper layer. Yeah, it helps us balance our body so the body knows what to do with the physical elements we ingest. So it delivers the frequency, which is the information pattern. Yeah, it's not going to deliver the vitamin B to your body, yeah, physically. It's going to deliver the information of that vitamin and actually allow the cell to understand how to utilize it. Yeah, so it's going to align it informationally. So be it vitamins, minerals, enzymes, amino acids, and hormones, all of those are within the digital nutrition programs. Yeah, I'm going to show you where you can find those. These frequencies that are delivered then communicate directly with your bioenergetic field. So remember, bioenergetic field is not just the outside of the body. Bioenergetic field is around every cell of your body. Every cell. DNA has light, and every cell has DNA, and every cell has bioenergetic field that actually connects to your bigger bioenergetic field. So that's delivered throughout your body. And it's really important because when we connect with the bioenergetic field, we send the information there so the cells know what to do with that, yeah? Which is helping your body recognize and activate its natural functions. Yeah, so you're restoring the functions that might not work properly, yeah, because they're not aligned. They also support the body in restoring balance, increasing coherence, and stimulating cellular communication. So that's important because that's how we utilize and absorb things. Without that, we don't repair. Vibration nutrition can amplify the effects of physical nutrients. Yeah, so meaning whatever you ingest, your body will know what to do with it, so you will have more absorption. Of course, that doesn't mean that if you have IBS or if you have SIBO or whatever, leaky gut, yeah, compromised gut, you will still have low absorption. So you'll need to work on your gut in order to have a higher absorption. So make sure that you actually work on that. And it will help your body prioritize what it needs most. Yeah, because your body will always tell the device, the Healy device, what this is what I need. Send me this. The frequency, the programs, we know how they work. They have a sequence. Yeah, sending frequency out to the body. The body says, this is what I need. And the Healy sends, okay, these frequencies you need, I'm sending this frequency. And every time we send this frequency through the Healy, Healy checks, do you still need this frequency? Do you still need this frequency with the body? And the body comes back, yes, I need it, or I don't need it anymore. So this is really personalized support. And with the frequencies of digital nutrition, it helps the body prioritize what it needs and actually absorb it. And it's non-invasive. It's not like you're going to have side effects. It will. The only side effect you might have is detoxification, yeah, because the body will now need to eliminate things that it's not needing anymore. So that can affect, your mood. It can affect, like headaches and flu-like symptoms, and kidneys and urine and your digestion. It can affect that, but it is a short-term process, because the body is eliminating things that it wouldn't be possible to do that before because it didn't have enough nutrients. It is non-invasive. It's really subtle. Yeah, digital nutrition mixture programs are really beautiful and really subtle, but they're really powerful. And they work on a quantum field, the quantum level, bringing harmony and awareness into your body. So your body comes back to alignment. So that's why you want to do it, right? We know Healy, we love Healy. And if you haven't used digital nutrition mixtures, I would encourage you to, because they're really, really good support for your body. And I'm going to show you mini protocols of how you can do that. Okay, so let's look at the 5 pillars of nutrition. So we're going to go through them simply and fast. So the first one is absorption. So it's not what you eat, it's what you absorb. So what do you do with it? Yeah, otherwise it just goes through you. Second one is balance. So key nutrients must work in harmony. So there's certain elements that work together, otherwise it does not work. Yeah. Biochemical individuality. So every person has unique needs. You might not need specific things the way that I do. So you need to look at your body. Frequency imprints. Cells respond to information. So when we imprint certain information on the bioenergetic field, the cell will respond. So this is where digital nutrition supports vibrational nutrition. So it changes the message to the cell. Lifestyle and timing, when and how you deliver nutrients matters. Don't just go like a chicken without a head, doing everything you want the way you want it, because the body has a rhythm and cycle. Okay, let's look at absorption. So it's not what you eat, it's what your body can use. So you can have the cleanest, the most nutrient-rich diet, but if your digestion is actually compromised, as I said, your cells may actually not absorb what they need. So they need support, and you need to support your gut, and then the cells need support in information to actually align that communication channel back to balance, so you can actually absorb what you need. So what absorption is impacted by what? First of all, it's impacted by gut lining integrity. So leaky gut, inflammation, any digestive issues will impair absorption. Enzyme production. People forget about this. Enzyme production is really important, especially stomach acid. Yeah. If you don't have enough stomach acid, you will have acid reflux. So acid reflux is not about too much stomach acid, it's about not enough stomach acid. And if you don't have enough stomach acid, your immune system is impaired and you don't have protection. So yeast, bacteria, viruses, everything can come into the body, and you will not be able to kill it because you don't have enough stomach acid. Bile is important to digest proteins and fats. And it also determines how your body stores or utilizes fat for energy. There's other things that are influencing it, but bile is really important. That means your liver health is really important. Pancreas. So pancreas is what makes enzymes. So if you don't literally support your pancreas, you will not have enough enzymes. For example, pancreas stops producing enzymes after 4 p.m. in the afternoon and starts producing melatonin. So if you're eating after 4 p.m., latest after 5 p.m., you will literally cut the process of producing melatonin. So you will not be sleeping well because you're not going to have enough melatonin because you ate too late. So the cycles of the body are really important. And if you are eating this way for too long, you are depleting your enzymes and your food is stuck in the gut and it starts to rot. And then you have issues with the gut. So it's really important. Everything is connected. Microbiome balance. This is not just the gut. Microbiome is within, on your skin, is within every organ. It's a part of you. It's all the bacteria within the body. And this is the alkaline and acidic balance. It's also, the regeneration and the inflammation levels. That's all included, and that influences absorption. Emotional stress and trauma. People forget about this. Yeah, that's stored in the gut, and also if it's stored anywhere else and it's influencing your nervous system, it will influence your gut, because the largest nerve, which is the vagus nerve, is literally ending in the gut and influences the gut microbiome. So if you're not looking at the trauma, and if you have triggers from the outside and you're not facing what it's actually there for you, you are impairing your absorption if you're not transforming things. Okay, so we have Healy frequencies for absorption, digital nutrition frequencies. Yeah, so we're focusing on that. So I gave you a few, like amino acids, liver harmony, gastrointestinal system harmony, kidney harmony. I also gave you some extra ones for absorption. Coherence. People forget about this. If your mind and heart are not aligned, your gut and digestion will not work. You'll have anxiety and your digestion and absorption will be impaired. So liver health is really important. Intestine health is really important. Intestinal harmony is good for enzyme production as well. Balanced gold cycle, which governs the hormone balance system. Digest all, clean all, deep cycle hedge, those are really good too. And spleen and pancreas. Yeah, they all support the energetic readiness of the body to absorb and utilize nutrients more efficiently. So it's really important to understand that supporting the basic functions to actually absorb is really important. Okay. As I said, vibration nutrition with digital nutrition helps to, send the information so we can absorb better. Another practical tip for absorption. You can pair digital nutrition with coherence or bioenergetic support to actually increase receptivity before meals or supplementation. So this actually helps the bioenergetic field to have more coherence, so it has a better receptivity for the information and the messages that you're sending it to. So if your bioenergetic field is out of balance, you're in stress and anxiety, you're not aligned, you are not calm, run coherence or bioenergetic support. Calm yourself down, strengthen your bioenergetic field, because that's how you're going to receive information faster. Balance. So nutrients must work in synergy, not isolation. So what does this mean? This actually means that the body is like a symphony. It's like an orchestra. Like you're performing a song. Everything needs to work together. It's a team. So it doesn't work solo. Like when people sometimes ask me, but if I take this supplement, I'm lacking this vitamin, or I'm lacking this and this, and I'm doing it, individually. Yeah, that's great. But having vitamins or minerals or supplements individually, it's not going to be the same as having it in a package, because the body is a team and it needs elements to work together. So you need nutrients, are literally like a cofactors, and they interact consistently and constantly. And for example, there's a calcium in order to be absorbed requires magnesium, vitamin D, and vitamin K to be properly utilized. So what does this mean? So for example, if we want to absorb calcium into our bones, and the bones are not created only from calcium. Yeah, so too much calcium will actually create calcification on your bones, because your bones are made out of 12 minerals. Yeah, and calcium is just one of them. So in order for the calcium to be absorbed, you need magnesium, vitamin D, and vitamin K working together. because without these cofactors, calcium can end up in the wrong places, like soft tissue or arteries, instead of actually in your bones in your teeth. So, for example, if you would be eating food, to actually utilize this example, you would be eating, for example, grilled sardines with avocado and soft boiled egg. Why? Because sardines are rich in calcium, vitamin D, and omega 3s. Avocado is a good source of magnesium, healthy fats, and supports that actually support absorption. The soft boiled egg, for example, specifically the yolk, contains the vitamin D and vitamin K too, because they're both fat soluble vitamins. And if you drizzle extra virgin olive oil over it, helps with fat soluble vitamins, which are vitamin D and vitamin K, to be absorbed faster. So this is now the background of a simple meal that actually allows the body to absorb everything. I'm just saying this is an example. If you are vegetarian, vegan, that's your choice. You need to find your solutions, right? But this is an example of a complete meal to actually for the body to absorb the things that you need. And also over supplementation, as I said, individual supplements can cause imbalances, even sometimes toxicity over time. So keep to whole food supplements. So for example, iron works with copper. So if you are supplementing artificial iron, not bioavailable iron, right? So you have iron supplements that are artificially made. That iron will deplete copper stores in your body. And copper is really important for energy. So if you are supplementing, make sure that you supplement with whole food supplements, meaning, for example, a whole food supplements would be for iron, would be, for example, could be freeze-dried liver and spleen, beef liver and spleen, for example, which contain other minerals in there to actually supplement. I'm just giving you examples. Yeah, I'm not saying that this is what you need to do, but it's really important to understand to have a balance of different elements. So as we are delivering the frequencies within the body, and using digital nutrition, we're not overwhelming our body. So our body will only take what it needs. So in order to actually achieve the balance, our body will always prioritize what it needs, no matter what program you're actually sending it to. Yeah. So there's some great programs in digital nutrition to create that balance of vitamins and minerals in the body. So one of them is called Balance. Yeah. Blood harmony, minerals, amino acid, antioxidants, alkaline powder, secondary plant substances, trace elements. There's a vegan, which has all the missing minerals and vitamins for vegans. Vitamin B complex, this is my favorite because vitamin B complex is really important for nervous system and nerves regulation. And without B vitamins, we can't actually convert certain things. And vitamin intake. So if you are taking supplements, vitamin intake is really important to get the right ones into yourself. And of course, I always run bioinformation because that is literally helping align the cells and communication between the cells to actually absorb what they need to. So if you want to do a protocol, like a mini protocol idea would be, for example, if you have fatigue or mood swings, that majority of us have when we're under stress, you can use, for example, digital nutrition mixtures, and you can use Joy of Life, fatigue, or minerals, or vitamin B complex, and you pair it with either emotional well-being or inner unity to address physical and emotional imbalances at once. So this is really good if you are tired, if you your nervous system is under stress. Those combinations are really good to use. Okay, biochemical individuality. So meaning that there's no one size fits all. Yeah. So we know that we're all unique. We have unique metabolism. We have our own genetics, and epigenetics say that we can change them. And environment is one of the things that changes it. And we also have our emotional profile. So we have our suppressed emotions, we have trauma, we have our own lens of how we see the world. And as I said, what works for one person might not work for another. Yeah. So think of for example, food intolerances, yeah, because we live differently, we process things differently, we, experience stress differently, we have different food intolerances, and our bodies are different. We also have different methylation processes. So methylation is how we absorb certain things. It's a whole thing. We don't have to go in there. But it affects how your genes express and how you actually absorb things. This is now a new science that actually is emerging, and it's showing really, really interesting things. We also have different hormonal responses. We have energetic sensitivities, and all of that is influencing our absorption, our digestion, and our nutrition. Our Healy actually allows us to tune into what the individual need, to our own individual needs in that moment, which is great because we can scan our Healy through the Blue app, and what comes up, it's actually what our body needs. So we don't have to, figure it out. We have it right there, and it supports us in real time. And we have different ways of applying it, being through resonance or through IMF programs, or IMF programs through coil. So there's different applications, and I would encourage you to actually try them all. You can see the differences within your body. You can experience the differences within your body to see what works for you. So with digital nutrition, it actually empowers us to address the needs that may be invisible to blood test or symptoms, but they're still present energetically. As I said before, right? We can have high iron in the blood, but we can still be tired. So that means that the body is not utilizing the iron that it's floating in the blood. So it's an energetic imbalance. And that might come up on Healy with different programs. And I'm going to show you the guide that you can actually look at it. So with this, it's really important to scan, and vibrate the Blue app. And for example, if we have an individual scenario, for example, someone, as I said, might have great nutrition, the tests come back great, but it feels tired, and Healy might show, for example, on a scan, B complex or Q10, CoQ10, yeah? So you have specific programs for B complex and CoQ10. So you can start running those, whatever comes up, the programs that come up, but you can also start supporting your body at specific times, and I'm going to show you the protocols, at specific times to actually support the B vitamin complex and the CoQ10 absorption. So you're actually informing your cell and your DNA to repair the communication channel. Yeah. So there's few of them. I'm not going to, the top one is vitamin B complex. This is a program. You can also use activation for CoQ10, which is great. Yeah, there's other ones as well. So you can specifically tailor that to yourself. Then we have frequency imprints, which is your cells actually speaking in vibration. So what you imprint, meaning sending information to the cells through the bioenergetic field, this is what the information will, this is the information the cell will receive, and then it will act on it. And it will start aligning and communicating with the rest of the body. As we know, cells communicate in frequency. So we know that every vitamin, mineral, enzyme, even our thoughts and emotions, they carry energetic imprint, a specific blueprint, a frequency blueprint. Yeah, the frequency, a specific frequency. So digital nutrition actually sends these information patterns to bioenergetic field, helping the body to recognize a deficiency. So if your body is deficient in something, you will inform the body, because the body will let you know, this is what I'm missing. And now you're sending information to say, okay, this is what we're missing. Now I'm recognizing the deficiency. So I need to find that within the body so I can actually absorb it. And then it will activate a biological process, meaning absorption of that nutrients within the body and finding that nutrient so it can actually build it and rebuild it. And it will enhance receptor sensitivity, meaning the communication between the cells will become more sensitive. So it will start noticing things better and more. So it's like showing the body the blueprint so it can adjust more efficiently. And this is not an overnight process, it's a long-term process. So consistency of applying frequency is important, because you're now reteaching or relearning the cells are relearning how to align back to where they need to be. So because we're doing this on a quantum level, it's a quantum level healing. So it's not just physical application, it's mostly energetic application. So we're teaching the cells, yeah. Yes, so how can you recognize your own imprints? Yeah. You work with information before it actually becomes matter, before it becomes manifested into the physical. So you can recognize your energetic imprints by scanning your digital nutrition mixtures in your Blue app. Yeah, that's how you will understand what your body really needs. And you also enhance your cell communication, for example, with digital programs like bioinformation, brain harmony, nerve harmony, energetics. Those are really important for communications of the cells. So think of digital nutrition like give your body like a manual or a sheet music, yeah? So you can actually create an orchestra so everything is in tune. So you can actually perform in a beautiful symphony. So this is what you're literally doing with frequencies. Okay, and the last one is your lifestyle and timing. So when and how we nourish our body actually matters. Yeah, so nutrients, the way I see it, so the nutrients are based. So our needs and nutrients and how the nutrients are absorbed in the body are based on circadian rhythm. Yeah, because our hormones and our cycles and everything that's working in the body is connected to the circadian rhythm. So light, yeah, so cortisol level, melatonin cycles, your insulin levels, like all of that is connected to light. Yeah. Menstrual phases for women, yeah, we have different phases, so we need different support during different phases of our life and our cycle. Emotional states, so if we're under stress, we'll have different needs and nutrient needs than if we are calm and on vacation. Physical stress or rest, so if we are exercising a lot, then we have different needs, nutritional needs, than if we are resting all the time. So it's really important to adjust based on your lifestyle and also address it at the right timing. So digital nutrition can be timed intentionally. So you can vibrate specific programs in the morning, in the afternoon, or evening to support your body cycles. So for example, in the morning, you can vibrate energizing mixes. So you can actually have more energy. So for example, vegan, which has B vitamin, yeah, vitamin B12, which is important for energy production. Vitamin B complex, which has all the vitamins in there. CoQ10 programs, which I gave you before, which is also activation, circulation, rigidity, energetic, which are also iron. So iron is really good for energy. You need iron for energy. You need iron for your nails, for skin, for your hair growth, and also for your nervous system. Yeah, especially, and also for women for hormones. Then in the afternoon, if we can run programs, just nutritional programs to support focus and stress support if you're working. So for example, bioinformation, so you strengthen the communication between the cells. Comfort and balance, those all support zinc, because zinc will actually support the communication within the cells. Then you have vitamin C, which you need for focus, and because when you stress, you deplete your vitamin C levels, your zinc levels, and your minerals. So for example, relief, recreation, age, kidney harmony, those are really good for vitamin C. And then serotonin, so you can have positive hormones, so you don't fall down into negative emotions. So weight, hormonal system harmony, psyche, my favorite is joy of life for serotonin. Those are really good to lift your mood and actually build more focus if you need to. And then of course at evening, you vibrate calming blends. For example, magnesium. So magnesium, like rest, brain harmony, heart harmony, those are really beautiful magnesium supports. Then we have melatonin, so you can actually sleep better, so your body can actually start producing melatonin and start absorbing what it needs. Antioxidants, hormonal system harmony, psyche. And then you have trace minerals, which are trace elements. they contain trace minerals in there, because if you're under stress a lot, you're going to utilize trace minerals and minerals itself 10 times faster than in a normal day. So supporting yourself, it's really important. So your nervous system state, how your nervous system functions, also affects nutrient uptake. So if you are always anxious, your nervous system is out of balance, you are always stressed, your vagus nerve is, contracting, your body is contracting, you're in a sympathetic nervous system. Yeah, so fight and flight. So you need to bring your body into parasympathetic nervous system, which is rest and digest, because that means you enhance the effectiveness of the absorption in the body. So make sure that you run programs like vagus nerve or vagus harmony, or bed rest in sleep, balance in gold cycle, and pair it with digital nutrition mixtures. So those can help together. Yeah. Okay. Now little protocols for you. So I gave you 3 little ones. First one is daily vitality booster. The second one is your hormone and balance and mood for women. So through the cycle. Yeah. So you can support yourself. And then the gut and absorption focus. So I gave you morning, afternoon, and evening. So I gave you programs, which are digital nutrition programs, so you can support yourself. And I gave you some extra ones to support your body through it. You will get this as, photo. You will be able to download it in the group, the Facebook group. So you're more than welcome to get that through the group. Okay, I think I'm done. Okay, questions. If you have a question, pop your hand up so I can see you. Otherwise, I'm going to go into the chat and see if there's anything in there. Oh, hello, Viva. You have the floor.
Hi, Petra. Thank you.
Hello,
As
beautiful.
always, superb session. Excuse me for not having my video on. I have
Okay.
a very direct question. My brother has been diagnosed with a lumbar disc prolapse, L5, and he's not someone who uses Healy often. So, because he was in excruciating pain the last couple of days, I have been doing a daily scan and choosing programs as per relevance. Now, yesterday, the digital nutrition programs popped up as highest, and all the 5 programs in the digital nutrition were also 50 plus, 60 plus in terms of percentage.
Yep.
So I used the highest one, which was bed rest or rest. I think rest. It was rest.
Rest. Yep.
I used it with the cables, and about 30 minutes down the line, he had a shooting pain in his knee, which he thought his knee is going to explode. So I
Yep.
just removed it and I said, it's okay. I feel something is shifting in a good way. But how would I explain to somebody who is actually in a lot of pain? Because
Okay.
they would almost be scared to use it again,
Yes.
understandably
Yes.
so. So, what would be
I,
the way forward and what should I do?
So if he had an issue in the spine, yeah, so the
Yeah.
spine, we know that all the nerves go through the spine. So if he had a prolapse or any changes in the vertebrae or in the spine, any movements, even if they're like millimeter movements, they will impact the nerves and they will have inflammation around it. So when the inflammation starts subsiding, is when the frequency and the energy starts pushing through the nerves. So that means that the inflammation was literally contracting the nerves before in the spine. And then when it actually subsided enough, the energy flowed through it. So he was feeling it in probably the knees because it was going to that part of the body. So what that means to me is that the inflammation is subsiding, so the body is actually healing. And if the digital nutrition is coming up, it means that the body needs more nutrients and the alignment of the information in order to absorb the nutrients so the body can actually utilize and regenerate what it needs to regenerate. So if the rest came up, so I wanted to show you this. So I've actually forgot. So I'm going to show you. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. So this is the guide that you can get. So you have all the programs in here. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go into rest, which is
I think
relief,
it's
I
on
think.
page 5.
Yes, the relief part. So I gave you categories. So you have relief, you have movement, you have regeneration, you have detox, you have metabolism, and you have body, physical body. So if it's the last one, rest, these are the things that are in there, right? So you will
Yeah.
see that the serotonin, melatonin, there's a lot of like zinc, iron, a lot of vitamins. You have minerals in there, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I gave you also not what the program does. So don't, this is not what the Healy program does. This is the explanation of what these minerals, vitamins, and hormones actually do in the body, yeah, in a physical form, how they support the body based on the category that the program falls into. Yeah. So you see
Okay.
it says support cellular repair processes that occur during sleep, enhance overall sleep quality and duration. Yeah. So this is also nervous system. Yeah. And
Mm-hmm.
promote muscle relaxation and reduce physical tension. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Help manage stress and anxiety that can interfere with rest, which is literally, yeah, the contraction of the muscles, the inflammation of the muscles, the nervous system support, yeah, and the regeneration because it happens through sleep. So if you get programs in the app, sorry, my app on the phone for sharing, screen sharing, literally died this morning, and I was trying to fix it and I couldn't. I would share it, but if you have programs, when you scan digital nutrition in the Healy Blue app and the
Mm-hmm.
programs come up, just go and
Correct.
search in the guide and see what these elements actually do in the body. So you can actually start pulling information together to see what's happening in the body in that moment. But to me, that would just mean that the body's healing. That's what I would take out of it. And what was the percentage that you were running the programs on?
I think rest was 64, if I remember right. And
Ooh.
then the next one
No, no,
was,
no. You mean
I'm sorry.
64% relevance? No, I'm asking when you ran the IMF program, what was the percentage, the intensity that you gave him?
It was a long program, so I turned off the Bluetooth. I didn't see.
No, 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 no. The percentage when you know when you go into the program, the IMF program, you have plus and minus buttons, and then you have the
Yes,
flow.
yes.
Yeah. So how
Okay,
much was
okay.
the percent?
I think either 30 or 35.
That's fine. So don't go over 40. Yeah, especially with nervous stuff and nerves and spines and regeneration, make sure that it's lower. So if you can go as low as possible, you can go and the current is still flowing. That is where I would start. And then I would level up to 40%, but I wouldn't go over 40%
Mhm.
unless, for example, I had a client a while ago and she had a knee injury, and her injury, for example, when we placed the electrodes on each side of the knee, we needed to go to 100%, and it was the current was still not flowing, and after 10 minutes the current started flowing and she was like ow and she felt the energy go through, and then we lowered
Mhm.
the percentage to the point where the current was still flowing in order for the information and electricity to flow through in order for the body to accept it and regenerate it.
So I have a practical question here. Since the physical pain has been excruciating, and I think he would just be very worried to use the cables again. So should I use the information field to acclimatize him and then use the coil and then proceed with the cables? Would that be
Yes,
a, I mean, would
I
that
would
help?
I would do resonance and coil every day, and then after 5 days, I would try cables. And if it's
Okay,
still hurting, then I would take it off and I put coil on. And then I would
okay. I will.
try after 5 days again, and then see if anything changes.
Okay, I will do that.
Yeah,
Thank you so much, Petra. People are
you're
looking
welcome.
for the guide, and so am I.
Yeah, it's in the Facebook group or on my website. So if you go to the link, I
Will
think I
do that.
posted up there. Yeah, so you can
Thank you.
find the
Thank
guide
you.
in there. That's not a problem. And I'll post
Thank
a
you
new
very
post
much.
when I come in to the group, so you can get it. You're welcome, Viva. Okay, next one is okay. Next one is Nitya Lakshmi. I hope I pronounced that correctly now, because I remember it from last time.
Yes, Petra, it was really beautiful the way you pronounce my name. Seriously, I'm loving it. And thank you so much for
Sorry.
this wonderful session. No, 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 I really mean it. I really mean it. Thank you so much for this wonderful session. Just
You're
one thing I
welcome.
would love to say, Petra, that the information that you give, the knowledge that you share with us, that really helps us to boost our confidence so that it helps us to take Healy to the other people, lots and lots of to other people. So when they ask question, we are able to answer it properly. It's only because of the knowledge that you share with us. So we'll be truly grateful to you forever. So
You're
thank you so much.
welcome. You're
And
welcome.
just I have one question, Petra. So, in terms of people who are little blind or completely blind, like blind in the sense, people those are not blind from the birth, but for some reason after when they were born, they were completely okay. But then after some point of time, when they become blind and still they are blind, in that case, how Healy can help them actually?
Okay, so we're talking about eyes and blindness, yeah?
Exactly, exactly.
Okay, so first of all, I would love to encourage everyone to not look at just the symptoms. So I'm blind, I need a program for eyes. Yeah? Yes, eyes are important, but what is, ask yourself, and these are things that I would really encourage you to ask, because then you're going to start trusting your body. What is influencing the eyes? What do you think? What is influencing the eyes?
A liver and the other organs,
So
or the
liver,
optic nerve which is connected in the brain.
so we have liver, we have kidneys, yeah,
Mm.
we have pineal gland, we have nerves, yeah, so nervous system, and we also have toxins in the body. So if there's too many
Okay.
toxins, the lymphatic system is not working, which is connected to the kidneys, and then it's not moving things out. So I would encourage you to actually look at, away from the eyes and start asking people, how is your gut health?
Mm.
Do you have any issues with kidneys or liver? Are you stressed? Yeah, because they probably won't know that they have issues with kidneys and liver because they're not connected to the body. So
Mm.
you need to start asking questions around, are you stressed? Have you been stressed through your life? Are you sleeping? Are you have anxiety, or do you feel like, does the liver part of the body, does it hurt? Do you have your stomach squeezed? Yeah. How is your digestion? So you can start seeing what's going on for them, and you're also teaching them how to tune into their body. And then you scan your all Healy programs and see what comes up. If deep
Mm.
cycles are coming up, then there's a toxin issue. Yeah, so you need to really detoxify the body. So
Yeah.
if, for example, digital nutrition is coming up, then probably either there's too much stress, too much toxins, but also there's lacking nutrients, and the body doesn't have communication to absorb. So this is advanced. Yeah, this is not a basic thing. But you
Mm.
also need to understand that this is not a magic pill. This is not Western philosophy of medicine, yeah, where we go, you have this, we cut it out, or you have this, we're going to give you this. This is not how body heals. Body heals in systems and in connection as a team. So when we understand what is out of balance in the team, we can address that, and everything else falls back into balance. So it's not just, oh, that's a stain, I need to clean it. It's, where is this stain coming from? Is it something underneath? Is it something from the left, the right side? What is it? You might not know everything, and that's okay. You are learning and you're exploring, and you need to be okay to make mistakes, which are not mistakes, they are actually learnings. Because when we try a program that we think it's good, yeah, it's going to help, but it doesn't help, and we feel this way or we feel this way, we actually get feedback from the body saying, well, I didn't like this, this is not what I need. So let's try something else. We go deeper and deeper and deeper, and then we find things that our body really needs. But unfortunately, we are so disconnected in today's society that we are waiting for the magic pill and for someone else to save us instead of actually learning about our body, because the body knows everything. It will always tell you, will always support you, will always want to save you. So if you are learning the messages and the communication of your body and the language of your body, the more you're going to learn it, the more you're going to understand it, the more you're going to be able to support it. So I would look at all Healy programs and see what comes up. I would also look at meridians to see where the energy is stagnant. Yeah. And I would definitely, doesn't matter what they have, I would give them protocols like gold cycles, deep cycles, supporting the gut. And then you can actually create your mini protocols in the Healy Advisor search app, in the white app. Yeah. The little white app where you search things. And you can look for eyes. So eyes, or whatever that situation is, you can put the thing in the wording that you have and see what program lists come up and use the top one. So the top one that comes up, you choose it and you take a look at the programs that are in the list, and then just pop it into IMF schedule, and they can still do the protocols. And then after the deep cycle, because the deep cycle needs to be without any other programs. So instead of going on a power of 3, pop them on this protocol, 2 programs a day, and see what happens. So it's about learning, and about seeing what the individual needs, right? Because I'm giving you general protocols that are good for the body to detox and to give it some space so we can start building its nutrients back. For specific symptoms, you need to test what works on the body, and you need to start being okay to trial things, even if they don't work. Trial for a month, keep a journal, and see what happens. And after a month, go back and look at things and how things happen and what you've noticed, what changed. Did anything change? And even if you get detox symptoms, like people give up when they have a headache, or they start peeing too much, or they have diarrhea because of digestive issues. Like, your body has a healing process. And before it gets better, it needs to eliminate things. And sometimes it looks worse, but it's not worse. It's just allowing the body to release what it doesn't serve it anymore. But I would definitely look into your liver, gut, because if the gut is not working, the liver is overwhelmed, and the liver is connected to the eyes. And I would definitely look into Australia bush flower essences, creative homeopathy, meridians, aura, chakra, right? So you can see what the emotional blockages are. Because if you don't look at the emotions that are stored, eyes, so it could be anger, it could be aggressiveness, it could be because aggression is suppressed anger. Those are aggressive and anger. Aggression and anger are literally suppressed or compromised boundaries. And then fear comes in, which is connected to kidneys. And it could be existential fears, which you can find through coaching or aura. And existential fears are so deeply suppressed that people will not understand what those fears are. So you need to work on a physical level, or you need to work on an energetic level in order to bring them up, in order to bring them into awareness. So that's a process. It's not going to happen overnight. So, and also exploring, what happened if they were not born that way. When did this happen? Or what was the time or age, or, a situation that actually pushed them?
Age was
Push
around,
it to
I would
happen.
say, like when he was doing his grade 5th or 4th, I would say, which
So
means
if
around
that's
8 years old, kind of.
So we need to understand that, certain things happen within a kid's life, and up to year 7, our kids are all in energetic space, what we call theta waves, right? So they're literally sponges, they're open. So they are literally absorbing everything from the environment, and they are creating their own world of everything, how everything in the world works. And when they turn around 7.5, ego forms. So our ego mind, which is our protective mind, yeah, it literally forms, meaning that they become little personalities. And this is where trauma starts happening, because when we have ego, now ego wants to protect us because fear comes in. And then if a boundary is crossed, we have trauma. And trauma means suppressed emotions. But if it's a strong trauma, it doesn't mean physical trauma. It can be emotional trauma. It can be mental trauma, right? So there's different things. But what starts happening is our personality starts splitting. So eyes are connected to what do I don't want to see? What am I afraid to see? What is it that I rather not see? What am I so frustrated or angry about that I rather close my eyes? Right? Those are all messages from the body. So those are the things to explore. There is no right or wrong. The only right and wrong is when the body says yes or no. That's the only thing. So go and scan Healy, all Healy programs, go and scan Creative Homeopathy, Australia Bushflower Essences, start exploring. You can literally go in depth and journal. Like, you need to sit with, and if it's a child, it's harder but you need to have a
No,
conversation with
now
them,
he's
ask them.
sorry to interrupt. Now he's around 25, I would say, 26, something like that.
Yeah, so he's now having transit to process his trauma. So when he's going to be 28.5 to 30, he's going to have Saturn return, meaning he's needing to literally grow up, meaning that he'll need to face things. So for now, it's processing the emotion. And if he's open to talking, then yes, he'll need to go there. But otherwise, it's a process. They have their own path, but you can support them, like liver, gut, kidneys, and then emotional aspects. And you can vibrate those frequency, even if he's not aware of it. Yeah. But
Okay.
it needs to be his choice to transform that.
That's
Yeah. So
true. Yeah.
it's also his path and his choice if he wants to see it or if he wants to transform it. No matter how much we want something for someone, it's not our responsibility and it's not our place to do that. It's theirs.
Makes
Yeah.
sense. Golden words, Petra. Seriously. Thank you.
That's how it works in life, if we like it or not. Like, unfortunately, I wanted to change so many people, but unfortunately, it doesn't work.
Yeah. I agree. Thank you
Anything
so
else?
much, Petra. Yeah, yeah, that's it.
You're
Thank you
welcome.
so much.
Perfect. No worries. Thanks, Anika. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Let's. Okay, the next one is Mamta's iPhone. I hope it's your name, Mamta. Mamta?
Hi. Hi, Petra. How
Hi.
are you?
I'm
So
good.
this
How are
is
you?
my first, good. So I've just got my Healy, so I'm, very new to this whole
Well,
community.
welcome to the family. This is quite advanced training for a new Healy
Yes.
user.
Yes. I mean, I've been, been part of the holistic, world for a number of years. So it's not that heavy as,
Good.
as one would otherwise imagine. So
Yeah.
firstly, I just wanted to say a huge thank you for today's session. And, I've got a lot of notes and, things that I want to go back and think about. And hopefully in the next session, I should be able to come back with queries. The only thing right now is the question I have is I've started, of course, I've just finished my, the clearance cycle for 1 week. And, now I've started the protocol that you're supposed to do for 90 days every so every day I'm doing 3 programs and whatever comes up in the weekly scan. My question is, now when I start scanning for other people, adding clients, is it and okay, in this particular case, it's a friend of mine who's just been diagnosed with breast cancer. and she's had her first session of chemo yesterday, and we've started running a general scan for her, and whatever comes up in the scan, I'm kind of doing the remote vibrations for her. Since I've not met her and she's at a distance, what can I do for her to support her in this situation?
Well, I can't tell you anything about the cancer because it's a medical situation.
Of
I don't know
course.
her
Yeah.
situation, but so 2 weeks ago we had a deep cycle H training with Jan Bolsinski, and he actually addressed at the end certain things around cancer and deep cycles. So
Okay.
make sure, like, frequencies are great, but people are using chemotherapy, which is influencing the physical body. So
Yeah.
resonance is beautiful. You can support that. If she doesn't have a healer or anything else, definitely resonance is beautiful, because it distance healing is just intentional. Yeah, it's intentional
Yes.
frequencies, and with Healy, it's literally feedback. So if that's something that she feels, if she feels it or if she doesn't feel it, it doesn't matter. It will still help and support her. It's much more gentler than the IMF currents. So
Okay.
just scanning literally what comes up for her in the body, all Healy programs, or if you want to do emotional support, anything from Australian bush flower essences, Bach flowers, Schüssel salts, creative homeopathy, especially creative homeopathy because it's stress patterns. So that's something that supports her body when it's under
Right.
stress. Just be mindful of the length of the frequencies that you're sending. Make sure that you start small because the body is much more sensitive. And we want to be gentle. Yeah, all the frequencies are gentle. That doesn't mean they're strong. It's how the body is assimilating it. Yeah, it
Okay.
has nothing to do with frequency. It has everything to do with the body. So
Okay.
just keep doing what you're doing. I guess that's would be my answer.
Okay. Awesome. Thank
Yeah,
you so much.
you're welcome. No worries. You're welcome. Okay, cool. No more questions unless there's something in the. I can't even see anymore. I think I'm gonna stop unless it's something urgent. Pop your hand up. If you would like, you can join the Facebook group. There's all recordings and everything in there, and you can get all the guides in there as well. They're free guides. I've created them in the last 2 years for all the trainings we had. And of course, I try to give you, because you know that I had sessions before, so you can always go back to specific sessions for yourself that you would like to, upgrade and add more information. And I always try to give you more, so you can go more in depth and, upgrade yourself and start using things for yourself in your real life. And you also need to start learning about your body. So if you know that you're anxious, then you need to support your nervous system. So digital nutrition is going to be a big part of it. And just letting you know, you will also need to do some other supplements if you want to balance your nervous system. And you will also need to look at your nutrition, physical nutrition, in order to support your nervous system. If you have headaches, if you have anything else, then those are the things you need to look at and learn about your body, yeah, and why those things happen. So start asking questions of why and where is this coming from instead of what program to do, yeah. Okay, Suresh, if you're going to be really quick, I'm going to take you, but otherwise we're going to end. Are you going to be really quick?
Yeah. Hi, Petra.
Okay. Hi.
My question is, whatever comes up in the digital nutrition, do you think we can complement it with physical medicines of that sort? Or after taking the medicines, we complement with the digital nutrition?
What do you mean by medicines? Like supplements or medication?
Supplements.
Supplements. I always combine supplements and digital nutrition together. That's how I find there is the best version and the most absorption in the body, because I'm teaching the body to absorb things that it might not recognize. And when I'm adding supplements into my body, the way my body needs it, yeah, not just overloading supplements. Be mindful of what you're doing with supplements, yeah, because minerals and trace minerals are something that I encourage everyone. Yeah, for example, salts like Celtic salt in the water, which is great for adrenal support. If you have trace minerals, like specific trace minerals that you pop into the water, that's also good because you don't have a spring water. Or if you have spring water, drink spring water, please, because it's the best water ever. And then, of course, depending on your body and what your body needs, what are your body's needs and what are you supporting? Yeah. So for example, currently for a while now, because my nervous system was quite really wrecked, I needed to support my nervous system in so many different ways. Yeah. I have just rechecked and checked in with myself 6 months ago again, and actually realized when I've done blood tests and everything else, and I've combined the data, I've realized that I did not, and I was not taking in the supplements that I needed in the right quantity. So I needed to amp up the quantity and combine it with digital nutrition in order to have a better absorption. And I found much better and much faster results. Yeah. So that's me testing on my body.
Okay, my question here is, suppose when I analyze the digital nutrition, it shows up, let us say, vitamin program as a priority. So
Yeah.
I run the vitamin program as well. Whatever the medicine supplements related to vitamins, I can take as an intake, maybe vegetables or whatever it is. It will add
Okay,
up.
so this is not direct correlation because the frequency, as I said, is not what you physically need. Yes,
Okay.
sometimes you need the physical minerals and vitamins, but sometimes you need only the communication change, right? Because we know that digital nutrition is not nutrition. It's a communication system. It's the information that's sent into the bioenergetic field in order for the cells to recognize and actually create more sensitivity to information in order to actually absorb those nutrients. Yeah, you might already have the nutrients in your bloodstream, but your body is not absorbing it. Yeah, so that doesn't mean you have to add it. You just have to create an environment where the communication pathway is created so the body can utilize it. That's why it's really important to understand, to go and do the blood test to see what's going on in the blood biochemically, and then look at what's coming up on Healy so you can start combining them together. Yeah, so you're not overloading on supplements. And if you are like, if the programs are coming up on digital nutrition and the vitamin B complex is coming up, yeah, then just run those programs, run them for a month, and then go and do the blood test and see if you're lacking B vitamins. Yeah, and then see maybe you can add on that. Yeah, but first you need to start building the communication pathways within the body before you add on supplements. Does that make
Excellent.
sense?
Yeah, very nice. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Suresh. Okay, perfect. Now we're done because we were an hour and 40 minutes onwards. Okay, so this is it. Next week, Chris is in. No, what's next week? Yeah, next week's Chrissy. And then we're almost in July. Oh my goodness. July is going to be fun. We're going to have some really good stuff coming up. New products and new stuff. Really good. So excited. So until then, you can always ask me questions in the Facebook group. I'm present as much as I can. Recordings are always available when I get the link. So please be patient. If there's no recording in the posts, in the comments, I didn't get it yet. Yeah, so make sure that you're patient with me because I'm trying my best to get it as fast as I can up and running. Yeah, but otherwise I'll be seeing you in 2 weeks. Have a beautiful weekend. Nourish yourself beautifully. Yeah, take care of yourself, and I'll be talking to you soon. Have a great night. Bye bye.